Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we have 3 more things to paint. We have some rubble kind of thing to do. All I've basically done with this is give it a couple of coats of Null Oil wash, and that's it. We're just going to quickly whiz over that once the wash has dried. If it dries before the end of painting, this fella. This is one of the Burrowers from Vampire Hunters. Nice looking chap, don't you think? So, what are we going to do with him? Well, this brush should give you an idea. We're going to start off with Nurgling Green. Oh, what I've done with him is I've given him a wash with a mix of Agrax Earthshade and Keelia Green Shade. Sorry, BL Tan Green, not Keelia Green Shade, BL Tan Green and Agrax Earthshade to give it that nice kind of like a khaki colour. So that's our base to work on, and using our Nurgling Green we'll give him a bit of a dry brush. That will go all over with this. We will be able to pick out some of the higher points on him in a moment, because we'll go over once again with this on the higher points of the Mini where it's going to get hit by light. But at the moment all we're trying to do is just get the basic colour of him. So there we are. And just go over everywhere that you can see and get to. If there's any places you can't get to with him, don't worry about it. It can be in shadow. But now we're just going to do a little bit extra on these raised areas on his back, because they're the ones that are going to see, or that the light is going to hit his back and down his arm, and just to the front of him as well. And make sure you get down the side of his side in front of his face, and that arm as well. There we are. That is the first stage done for this fella. In fact, I'm going to just give a little bit more on his back. Oops, a bit too much there, but not to worry. There we are. That will do fine. Right, now we're changing brushes. Yes, we're going to actually start painting. There's not much to do though, so don't panic about it. Okay, so we're going to get our brush and what we're going to use first off is Burrower Brown. And we're going to put a little bit of this on our palette, alternative palette rather. And besides that, we are going to be using a little bit of Screaming Skull. And we don't want much of that either. So we are going to do this in 2 different stages. First off in this, and we'll use this to do fingernails or claws, talons, whatever you'd like to call it. So we'll do 3 on this hand first with this colour. Make sure you get them all. really weird configuration of appendages here because they all have different sizes. And then wipe this off, go into the screaming skull and going from the tip inwards just do that. It will blend together and will look more natural than if you try to do this after the paint has dried. So the idea is once to make it look as though the claws are two different colours, darker near the base of it and a bit paler towards the end. And we'll do same again here. I'm going to sneeze in a second. Excuse me. Oh heck. So we have again the claws to do on this arm. Oh heck. My nose is tingling now, so I think I may sneeze again in a moment. You never know. Good Lord. I can usually do a few back to back. Oh dear. There we are. And I'll just do that again up there and there. And then there's not much left of the on the feet. In fact, there's no foot on that side because it's still underground. That one we're just going to touch the edge. Then we've got a bit of a claw down the middle and a tiny one there. There we are. That's that done. And now into here and there. But we haven't finished. No, because we're still doing this. We've done the appendages and now we want some more because there's another area that we need to paint this colour, and that's these areas here. Oops, hadn't realised I was off camera then. Let me just adjust the camera for a moment. There we are, that one down. And there we have it. We'll turn it upside down and get to the areas that we can't get to normally. That's all we can do. Painting with pictures, don't be afraid. Not painting with pictures, painting pictures. Don't be afraid to just turn the canvas around. Same with these, don't be afraid to turn the minis around as you're painting. If you can't get to somewhere, you need to be able to. So just turn the canvas, or in this case the mini. And I'll just do that. Spot on there, spot on there, spot on there. And again, do this area as well. And don't forget the underside. And that's it. So we need to worry about for that. Next job. Bigger brush. And the Rhinox hide. As you can see, I'm doing the base on this one because it's a textured base already. So we'll get the base done. And then I can show you what I did. It's just another case of dry brushing over the texture on this base. Oh, it's a moulded base, not a textured base, a moulded base. It's to depict the burrower coming out of the ground. So in order to show that, they've put some moulding on it to make it look as though it's come through concrete or some such. And all we're doing is just painting it completely Rhinox hide, and I'm hoping by the time I get this done that the other two things I would like to paint in this will be dry enough to do. It looks, quick cursory inspection or quick cursory glance, looks okay, but can't say for definite until we actually do examine it properly. Fingers crossed we can just get into them two straight away after I've done this bit, because I'm going to have to wait for this Rhinox hide to dry before I can do any more. So as I say, I'm just hoping I can just get straight on with the two bases of rubble that we have there. And there we go. Painted all the Rhinox hide up to the mini, up to the creature anyway, rather not the mini. There we are. Now let's have a look at this rubble. There we are. Okay, so pop them to one side. Is this dry enough to do? This one is, this one not quite so much. So I'll do this one on camera so you can see what I'm doing. I'll do the other one off camera. As I say, I just want to make sure that you're following on and you know what I'm doing with these. It's a simple job. Alt 1 Grey is the colour I'm using, and it's just a case of get it on your palette, not a great deal, dim 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 dim, and just waft over all the edges. And make sure it's over the top as well. That's all you need to do. As a very wise man once said, simples. What I will do as well is go around the raised edges just to make sure that they're all done exactly the same way I did the rats, and for the same reason. It's just that it just gives it that little bit of colour and highlight there where it's needed. How about that? Is that anywhere near? No, there's still some there, and I don't want to do this while there is still some of the wash that's still wet. How's the other ones that dried properly yet? Not quite, so I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get the Rhinox hide out. Damp brush, and we'll just go in to the different areas and cover the base with the Rhinox hide, but only the base. We're not covering any of the raised parts, which is the reason we need a narrow brush. Oops, if we do catch any, don't worry about it. It's not vitally important as long as you don't actually smother it. Yeah. Try to get it only on the base, not on anything else. Accidents will happen, don't lose sleep over it if you do catch, but so those areas are not the ones we want to catch. And that's that one done. Just going around the edge now with the Rhinox hide to make it tie in with every other mini that we're going to do on this one. And then we can check the other minis to see how they are. Oh yeah, it breaks it up rather well. So, is that? Nope, that's still a bit blurry. That looks as though it's dried up nicely now, so we can get on with finishing off. So, while we've got the, and this is exactly the same thing as I did with the other ones, while we've got the Rhinox side open, we'll get some of that on our palette. Wipe it off and into the Screaming Skull. Any shade we can find that's fairly light will do. It doesn't have to be the same shade on each particular mini. Wipe it off and just give it a waft over on these, and this will show you the kind of colour that we're looking for when we actually base it up properly. In fact, we probably won't use this, we'll use a different colour altogether to make this part stand out. Yeah, so that is the Burrower done, and one of these. That's, I'm sorry I can't show you both of these, but as you can see, hopefully you can see, there's still a little bit of the wash that's not quite dried in there. And I don't want to run the risk. In fact, I should be able to get on with it. It is actually below the surface of the mini, so hopefully I should be able to just give it a quick dry brush without affecting the wash, and I can go over the what you call it later on, over the base later on. So let's see if we can do that. And if you do if you've got a little bit more paint on the brush on one of them, on any one of them, than you have on the other, it doesn't matter. And so we'll just go around, and we can do this now because we've not painted the base. We're going to be painting it in a darker colour. So there we are, that is it for this mini, or for this video. Hope you've been enjoying them so far. I don't think that's an area that I'm going to be painting with the Rhinox hide anyway, so I'll just sneak a little bit of the Rhinox hide into there, then a little bit into there and into there, and I think really that's all we have for getting into the gaps on this mini. There's a few other areas that we need to cover, but as we're actually getting into paint around the gaps, then I think there's only those little two areas there. But anyway, as I was saying, I hope you're enjoying these painting videos so far. Very different to how I've been doing them before. As I said in the original video, and I think I've said in a few messages since, that I'm thinking painting for ease rather than display this time. The minis will do for game purposes, but not really the type for display purposes. So I'm not trying to do the best job I can, just an adequate job for getting to the table. So that's what we have so far. we have these two rubble pieces. Bits of concrete and rock and things like that. And then we have the last of the burrowers. How many was there? Was there 4 or 5 altogether? Or was there 6 altogether? I think there was 6 altogether. I've done 5 of them. It's just this one last one to do on camera so you can see what I'm up to. So as I say, I hope you've enjoyed these videos. I know they're different style of painting than I usually do, but it's nice to try different things every now and again. So for anybody who's just starting out, this is a very simple way of getting a decent effect on your painting. And I hope you found these useful. But that's it for me for this video. Until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.